And a new warning this morning about a canned fish.
Nutritionists often recommend 2 to 3 servings of fish a week, and canned tuna is really a popular choice.
The results? Popular albacore turkey had the highest mercury levels, while light varieties had relatively low mercury on average. Though, because so many people eat tuna and because of its potential risks, Consumer Reports tested 5 popular brands of canned tuna for mercury.
You can't see it. You can't smell it. But one faulty easy-open lid on bulk tuna can turn your pantry into a botulism trap. We're starting with the recent recall tied to defective seals, because in a case of 20 cans, one invisible failure multiplies your risk, not your savings. Keep watching and I'll show you how bulk seafood cans magnify safety problems, why white albacore asks for stricter limits, and the 2 checks you should do before any can goes in your cart. If you buy value packs for convenience, this is the blind spot that costs you. Before we move on,
well, go ahead and check your pantry because the FDA says Tri-Union Seafoods is recalling canned tuna due to possible botulism.
If you're like a lot of people, you probably have canned tuna in your pantry. And unless you're pregnant, you don't need to stop eating tuna, but you may want to cut back. Because so many people eat tuna and because of its potential risks, Consumer Reports tested 5 popular brands of canned tuna for mercury.
I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Let's start with the math you don't see. You grab a 20-pack to shave a few bucks. One flaw in an easy-open lid doesn't risk one lunch. It turns every can in that shrink wrap into a question mark. The seal is the whole game. Those pull tabs sit on a thin metal lid crimped to the body in a tight double seam.
It's cheap, convenient, full of protein and omega-3 fatty acids, and it's a classic staple in a lot of lunches. It's canned tuna.
Contamination, which is a very serious, potentially deadly bacteria. The tuna was sold by several major retailers.
The problem is mercury. Tests show that there is mercury in a lot of tuna, and that can cause serious health issues.
When that seam is formed right, air stays out and the vacuum holds. If the factory misforms it or the lid material is weak, the seal slips just enough to invite trouble while the can still looks fine. Here's the kicker. Low acid, oxygen-free space is the sweet spot for botulinum toxin. Spores can wake up, grow, and produce toxin without a bulge, a smell, or a leak. You can't see it. You can't taste it. A tiny hit is dangerous. That recent tuna recall over defective easy-open lids didn't flag dented, scary cans. The case looked normal. The risk lived in the closure itself and in bulk risk scales.
But the nutritional powerhouse from the sea comes with a warning.
Tuna, just like other fish, can contain mercury.
And in response to Consumer Reports findings, it said that the mercury levels were well below the limit the FDA allows in canned tuna.
And if you eat a lot of fish, you can expose yourself to this potentially dangerous heavy metal.
You don't buy a single odd can. You take home a row of copies from the same run. We've seen the pattern before. Past tuna pulled for contamination issues. Snack sticks yanked for metal bits. Different problems, same lesson. When a batch-level defect slips past quality control, bulk buying gives it reach. One cracked link, a whole chain goes weak. Think of it like a power strip with a cracked outlet. The fault isn't the lamp or the charger. The outlet is wrong, so every plug you add makes the odds worse. So how do you cut the risk without swearing off canned seafood? Slow down before it hits the cart.
High amounts of mercury can lead to problems with fine motor coordination, speech, sleep, and even walking.
The dangerous levels of this heavy metal.
For that reason, Consumer Reports recommends that pregnant people should completely avoid tuna. It's also concerning for pregnant people since the developing brain and nervous system of the fetus are vulnerable.
Scan the seams, not just the label. Skip cans with dents on or near the seam. Press the lid lightly, no flex, no click. Be extra wary of easy-open rims that look warped or rough. At home, rotate stock and eat the oldest first. Small steps, big drop in risk. Now let's move on to the second invisible hit in certain tuna, mercury, and why white albacore needs stricter limits even when the price looks great. Let's start with the price trick. The per can cost on white albacore looks great. but the serving cap turns that deal into a slow drip. If you're supposed to limit how often you eat it, a 12-pack sits there pushing you to break your own rule. Tuna isn't one thing. Light tuna and white albacore carry different mercury loads. Light is lower. Albacore runs higher. That matters because mercury doesn't leave fast. It builds. Here's the tension in a warehouse aisle. Bulk packs nudge habit. You meal prep. You grab a can on busy nights. But the guidance is tighter for albacore than light.
The results? Popular albacore turkey had the highest mercury levels, while light varieties had relatively low mercury on average, though
And because you cannot tell which can that you purchase has high amounts of mercury, you may be possibly exposing yourself.
results varied from can to can.
There were some cans we tested that had high amounts of mercury.
So the stack you bought to make life easy starts boxing you in. The risk is simple. Bigger, longer-lived fish soak up more mercury as they feed up the chain. Albacore sits further up that ladder. That's why it tests higher than light. Not a mystery, just biology plus time. And the shopper pain points keep piling up. Mixed cases that blend albacore with light so you lose track. Labels that don't spell out where and how it was caught. Serving sizes that look tidy on paper but don't match how you actually use a can in a sandwich, a salad, or pasta. There's more than health here. Albacore stocks feel the squeeze from heavy fishing. Add bulk buying and you fuel demand that leans on a slow-to-recover species. Batch variability in big runs also muddies quality and traceability. One lot is fine, the next is dry and off. So choose smarter. Use light tuna for the weekly rotation. Save albacore for the rare meal when you want that mild flavor. That way, the limit becomes easy to respect. Mini case. A family loads a 12-pack of albacore to meal prep protein for weeks. Then the weekly cap shows up and half that case gathers dust. Savings gone. Here's the prevention play. Limit albacore. Pick light more often. Check for catch methods or seals that speak to better practices. And by amounts you can eat within safe bounds. So what is the final move in the aisle? A quick safety scan before any can hits your cart. Let's start with the real kicker. Bulk magnifies what you can't see. A defective easy open lid turns one can into a row of risks, and albacore's higher mercury flips a bargain into a quota you now have to track. Your move is simple and fast. Inspect every lid and seam. Skip flecks, clicks, rim warps, and dents near seams. Favor light tuna for routine meals. Buy only what you can finish inside safe limits. If this sharpened your shopping eyes, share it with the friend who stockpiles cans. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets.